What's up, guys? Here with another one of my best friends.
Oh, are you live on Facebook?
No, not live on Facebook, live
Oh.
on YouTube.
I was gonna say everybody. Okay.
It's not actually live yet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I got you.
But here with Zach Lape. A lot of y'all know him. One of my awesome brothers in Christ. And just really been recently got to know him, probably, the past few years?
Yeah.
Been 3 or 4 years now. But man, I'll be straight with y'all. Some relationships I've had, some friendships I've had, they might be 1 year and they will be a stronger bond than people I've known 20 years. So time does not determine every, relationship. Sometimes the Lord just puts you with people and you just know you can trust them. You just know that they're not out to get you in any way, and that's kind of what mine and Zach's relationship has been. But he's fire. He's got a fire testimony. He's been through some things I've been through and overcame some things I've overcame, and so he's got some passions, and I just wanted to introduce y'all to him. And whatever happens. So yeah.
What's up, YouTube world out there, Zach? And it's a good introduction, and that's how Sam throws it to you, just like that.
Yeah.
No agenda.
That's it.
What are we gonna talk about? I don't know. He want to put me on camera, so I feel special when I'm here. I won't get too crazy with my testimony, because I have a lot to say, but y'all probably already heard a lot. How many people have you had on here?
I've probably had 10 people on here.
So,
all fire too, man.
I know that I've seen a couple, so I know the testimony they have.
Right.
Not comparing, not like one's not somebody. It's all about who can relate.
That's right.
But they are so fire, so I won't go crazy into that. But some of the same things, grow up at the same place, and I may have not personally known Sam, but he's name rings in the streets, just like a lot of folks when we were growing up. So you definitely heard of him, and just like he said, got close. Really seeking God the last couple of years when I was in a real bad place, and I just luckily through friends, actually Jerry Kerr brought me to church, Sam's church, and I just hit off with Sam, and he really took me under his wing, and I learned so much, and the whole church was amazing at Adareth, which I loved him there. But Sam really took over as just a leader to me and showed me a good way to live, and I always have just had the utmost respect because of that, and just learned a lot from him. Because my walk with Christianity has always been skewed more of a religion. I just grew up Southern Baptist, so I just thought I was always saved, and I was always good to go no matter what. Even in the last time I heard him speak, when he mentioned, was it Greasy?
Greasy Grace.
Greasy Grace, man. I used to live
Greasy
by
Grace.
that. That's I love that.
Yeah,
that's a good term, because we fall into it.
Right.
But
That's
growing
that
up,
life.
That's
life.
life. That's
great.
logic. Yes. That'll make it work.
And then you learn the truth, though.
But I remember telling him the first time I came, and I was like, I've never seen that anywhere in any church I've ever been to. The pure desperation for the Holy Spirit in there. And I told him the only place I ever seen it before was prison.
That's right.
And that's the only place I ever seen people really desperate. And I just related to that. It was crazy that you go and you see that there and you see it in prison. Well, that would go back to my testimony with, I have been to prison before, which a lot of people don't even realize that, which it wasn't nothing long term. It was 1 year. It was actually a little less than a year. Thank God. And I was able to learn from that, come back from that. And that's a whole story on its own, which I know a lot of people. Do you even know that story?
Yes.
You do know that story?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll go into it a little bit. I was partying, tailgating in Auburn that day with a few friends, and we were drinking, of course. So we watched the game, come home, dropped off. It's probably 12 or 1. Anyway, still buzzing, I'm sure. Still not still technically drunk, but I didn't really feel drunk at all. I left. I rode home. When I was going home, the cops passed me on McBride Road. Actually, I was turning on McBride Road. They were coming to Old Smith Station High School. Mm-hmm. So it looked like he was turning around. So I was like, oh, no, not tonight. So I took off, scoot. And he said that he was chasing me. I don't 100% know he was, but that's really what come back to bite me. I ended up just flying through the stop sign at the end of the road, crashing into a car, which that ate me up a lot of hurting those people. Long story short, they got hurt, I was hurt, but I got charged with first-degree assault, and did a year in prison. So it was lucky that I didn't do more time in prison. Very lucky. Unlucky situation, but still God see me through. And I think that it was a big part of my life because I had to go through that in order to change. And that's really the first time I got close to God. The first thing my parents tried, of course, they tried to save me from going to prison. So they sent me to rehab first, even though I had no issues with any drugs. Really didn't even drink that much. But, just a young kid. I was 20 years old at the time. And then nothing happened. I went to court for state troopers took me to court first. And they pulled the camera from the cop because he said he was chasing me. But there was nothing on the camera. So they threw it out. And I was like, oh, okay. Not even a slap a slap on the wrist. I'm good. And then this was like a couple months later. Then
the state or something.
The state picks it up. The state picks it up almost 2 years later, and they just come knocked on my door. No. The state dropped it, and the county picked it up. And that's why they were so confused, because they was like, it never happens like that.
Right.
It never happens like that. So rehab first, really got close to God there. Really finding out the true story. That's the true story of Jesus. This guy named Mark McLean told me. And I really, for the first time, was like wrapping my head around. It's like, it's really not like a Mother Goose fairy tale. This was kind of like somebody died.
Come on, man.
So,
like, he actually walked the earth. Like,
it's
factual that Jesus
like, this
existed.
is real. I got to quit playing around.
Right.
Even though it was, so he took me there. He took me through some, man, like, when I went to prison, now mind you, you hear these rumors about prison, you're like, you're going to get raped, and you're going to, that's what everyone thinks. So, obviously, because that's what we've seen on TV. Right. Jumped and raped, and you got to get in the gang and all. There was nothing like that, even though I was scared enough. I thought that. So I get down there.
And people are doing that, but they want to
Yeah. People are doing that, but
if
it's like...
If you want to do that, you can do that now. The opportunity is available.
But I'm small. I'm 5'6" and maybe 5'6" ¾ on a tall day. So a little white guy going to prison, I just don't.
I was there.
I don't feel safe at all, man.
I did that.
But I tell you what, walking through prison, because I was so close with God at that moment in time, that I felt protected. I never one time, like the peace that they talked about, man, the peace that passes everything. I had such peace, and I never felt really in any type of danger ever for 1 second. But there was a lot of danger going around me. I've seen a lot.
Right.
I've seen a lot of stuff I wish I wouldn't seen. But anyway, that was a little more than I wanted to get into it.
Hey, dude,
I got it. Hey,
that's a word.
That's a word. Okay. And I'm telling you, man, like, I learned a lot in prison. That's really where I dug deep, because God took me out that world, and I was just in the Bible. And like all these stories I heard growing up, I was digging deeper. And then God really is just trying to show me how he works. And man, he's like, man, you don't have to, like, God is just a title y'all put on me, like, let me show you how I work in the world. And ever since then, man, like, coming out of there, I really see God in so much more things. And everybody, even in fitness, like, so many times, like, I'm big into fitness. I love fitness, and I'm huge passionate about it. But he shows me so much related to the spiritual world through fitness. And people wouldn't even believe. Like, like starting off, your first day in the gym, you're like, this, I can never do this. And people come to church, their first day in the church, and they want to be immediately healed and saved, and like they want to go to the gym
completely whole.
Exactly. And I'm not saying God won't do that. He might do that, but normally
and he also might give you muscles and just like that.
He could, for sure.
I don't see it many times.
You don't see it a lot, and I can't tell you why and why not. I know he's sovereign. That's why he will occasionally, and maybe to someone who doesn't even deem deserves it. Well, they got healed, they don't deserve it. But a lot of people quit the gym because they don't get results fast enough, and a lot of people quit church because they don't
get results.
Exactly, they go in there day one, and it's like, man, when you go to the gym, you think you're gonna get it day one?
Right.
So, but if he did give it to you day one, you did go to the gym day one, and you just beast come out, but what you doing when you leave? You're not practicing, you're not walking, and it's still a healthy lifestyle. So
I'm going to the beach.
It's almost like
getting crunk.
I'm gonna go eat, and I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna go make a sandwich. So. And that's the same thing, but they want it in church. You want it day one, and then you can't. But I feel like he's almost teaching you so you can learn this lifestyle. Now he's like, man, let's live. But it's not rules or regulations. It's like, I'm trying to give you a better life, abundant. So I really feel like he's molding me to give me a more abundant life and quit sweating such small stuff. More in the gym that I always come back to. It's so much of the gym, man. It's like that I relate to. And I think it's just because of my lifestyle.
It's your life.
Like when if you quit the gym, you're just gonna start losing your gains, and if you fall out of church, you start losing. Like, you're not as sharp as you was, and you don't remember that Bible verse, and you don't remember that, and it doesn't hit you as quick. See, like when I'm really walking super close with God, and that sin creeps in my mind, I can just hold it captive. Blake Russell really got with me. Like, he said, you're gonna have it because you're human. Take it captive and get rid of it, and then guys will say, all right, now do that faster.
Right.
So it's like,
because your mind is actually strong enough to do that.
yeah,
when we
it
have
really
the Holy Spirit,
is.
you can
And you
think
will
about
see it,
something
man.
and you can go, oh no, I don't want to think about
If
that.
you pray for it and you're really like, God, you know,
I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about this, but I'm truly going to stop. He will hit you with that. He'll let
Right.
you know, well, you're thinking about it. You going to
Right.
stop or you're not? Because you
Right.
asked me to show you, but you
Right.
know, you got to do some work. It's not all. So, and I know we all over the board, but.
Dude, this is good. This is
But,
fire.
so, let me think where we're going to go next, because I know I was talking about fitness. It's so you want someone to teach you in there how to work out, you know, so you can learn, and that's why I say I come up under you and you really.
Right.
And I know a lot about the Bible. I know how to study
Yeah,
the
you
Bible,
do.
but it's more about walking it out. Like
Right.
you live this lifestyle. You was partying with all your friends. I've been partying with all my friends.
Right.
I'm a new creature now, so now
Right.
I got to learn how to live as a new creature.
Right.
I don't know that, and I still go back to this old creature because I
Come on,
want to
me too.
resort. You know,
Me too.
and it's like
Well, when you live one way for 30 years,
exactly.
you know, in 2 years, you're still going to bring things from the enemy's camp into the camp of the Lord. But come on, man. It's a process.
It is.
It's
But
a
to say it, it's a
process.
new creature. So we got to learn every day to walk it out, right?
We do.
get learning. In the gym, you got to learn every day. You get better and better and better. And then
Stronger.
stronger.
You grow.
You look better. You know what I'm saying? Your
Right.
tempo is getting better. So
Right.
now,
Your
when
endurance.
but when you get to that level, you'll notice you're starting to where you can teach other people in the gym. Now you're like, wow, I'm up here. I can give my knowledge
Make
to other
disciples.
people. How to make disciples, exactly, just like in the church. So it's
Come
like
on.
so much relates. All the time I'm in there relating, like, man, this really relates to the church, and this relates to, you know, God. Is He speaking to me? He showed me
Right.
this, but He'll show me to do fitness, and He can. I think He can show anybody through what you love and what you're doing daily. He's like, well, let me show you
Right.
some of the spiritual world
Right.
through what you love. So, and that's just kind of how I am seeing things right now. Where I'm at with God, you know, I don't feel as close because I haven't been seeking, you know, honestly, like I was just seeking
Mm-hmm.
so much, and so many blessings were falling into place.
Mhm. And we all go through this.
Yeah, and then it's almost like, you know, Peter, when he got off the boat and he walked on water,
Mhm.
and then when he looked down and
Mhm.
he fell, it's because he took his eyes off the God.
Right.
So you take your eyes off the Lord and you fall, and that's really relatable. But I wouldn't say it's kind of like take my eyes off. It's just slow, man. It's a
just
slow fade, you know.
Distracted and
You get
know.
focused, and then you're like, wow, I really got to get back on point, but where do I start? It's because, like, I'm such a case of when I fall on my face, that's when I look to God. But when things are going good, and I know that, and He spoke that to me too. He's like, you know, come with me when you're doing good, because, you know, I'm still here, not just
Right.
when things go bad. So that's when I went to rehab in prison. You know, I fell on my face, and me and my old lady split up. It really got blues, and that's when I started seeking really more just relationship with religion.
Because He's close to the brokenhearted. The Bible says He is close to the brokenhearted. That doesn't mean that He's close to the people whose hearts are full of love,
Yeah.
but it literally says He's close to the brokenhearted. That means if you're brokenhearted, He's close to you.
But
You may not
yeah.
feel Him,
Yeah,
but if your heart
He's
is
close.
broken, He's close, man.
I know.
So if you seek just a tiny bit, He's like, boom, I'm here. I'm here.
Yes, He is.
But it's like when
Close to
you,
the
but it's, and I
brokenhearted.
could be wrong here, but it's like when your heart's full of love and everything's hunky dory. It's like you have to seek after Him. You have
do.
to like
You really have to
draw
call
near to
out.
Him for Him to draw near to
Yeah.
you. But if your
Ah.
heart's broke, He's right on you. It's just like you got to be like Jesus, and He's just like boom.
He's like, yeah, that's all you had to say.
That's all you had
My
to say.
name
All
on
you
the
had to
rap,
do is
I know
acknowledge
this
me.
world's
Yeah, right
hard.
here already.
Yes. And He's like, I know this world's hard because we gave you free will. So
Yes.
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be.
So yes, and I do believe that. I do, but I still want to seek more when things are going good, and I do true. But I don't feel that connection almost because things are going good. It's easier to get distracted, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm in a good place and I
Right.
don't have that, you know, just zone focus that I need. And you know, Donnie always said like God is just a whisper away. God is just a whisper away, and I asked God, you know, before I'm like, if you just a whisper away. And this is when I was losing. I was like, why don't like I feel you? You know what I'm saying? I don't feel you in this situation. And He was like, you know, it's not me that's not a whisper away. It's you that's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here. You're not. Now meet me halfway. So.
And I go through the same thing, bro. It's not been in just a few days. I've been saying the same exact words you're saying. So it's not everybody goes through it. And you know what I mean? And you know this that I don't know anybody that just stays in that main vein that is just, you know what I mean, in constant contact with God. I mean, or it don't look like it on the outside by judging by the fruit. Not to judge a Christian, but just to look at the fruits of the Holy Spirit that's in them. people do get moved. Now I know like Donnie and Blake and some of these men of God, they literally don't get moved as much as me, but they're still human.
But it's because honestly, and this relates back to like with my diet, it's the discipline. When you can get disciplined like that,
see, they're
and
disciplined.
I know they're disciplined, and that's why they don't move. And if you come in here and bring honey buns, I'm not gonna touch them.
Right.
I'm gonna go to this chicken and rice.
Right.
But that's vain because it's really just because it keeps me looking good.
Right.
And God spoke to me. He's like, don't make that your God too.
Right.
So I'm trying to get out of that. And then like if I was as disciplined on that, man, life abundant, man.
Right.
And life abundant to me isn't normally like riches and I'm driving a Bentley and I'm drop top at the hotel suite.
Life abundant, it's literally
it's
just
friends
from
and
God.
fast memories, man.
Yeah.
It's like you can have a better time with your friends at a cookout than at the nicest Ritz-Carlton party, just because God's giving you life abundant. Now, you can go have a great time there too if that's, what He's gave you. But I'm just saying, it'll blow your mind. Like people might be seeking after the wrong things.
Right.
When really your riches are in like family, friends, and accomplishing things that you're passionate about, which God
your
knows.
purpose. Your purpose.
Yeah.
Your purpose.
100%. Like I turned pro in bodybuilding, which no one's seen that from me, like graduating high school or anything. And that's strictly, that was just sowing really good seeds, and I was reaping what I was sowing, and because it takes a lot of luck to do what I did. Most people don't do it, so I know it's just putting in the right spot, putting in the right place, all throughout it. It's very expensive too. It's like $1,500, $2,000. Not the show itself, but everything leading up to it.
Right.
And I don't think just through sponsors and people giving me just money, I don't think I ever spent like $200 in the whole thing to do like 3 of them. So it was just crazy how it all fell.
Do you want to tell anybody out there about who you train or how they could get in touch with you if they would want to train? Or
oh yeah, anyone looking to get in shape, you ain't got to get crazy as I have gotten with it, because I'm very disciplined, very strict, but I also know a lot. I've been doing it almost 12 years now, certified NASM personal trainer and IFBB pro. So you can look at me on Instagram if you want to just DM me. It's ZAPE777. And I'm also ZachLape1@gmail.com. And that's just shameless plug if you are looking to get in shape. New Year's are coming. But and I hope it just helps someone, because when Sam showed up today, I didn't know he wanted me to talk, so of course I'm gonna get on here when my friend asked. But I had a lot of points to hit. I don't know if it made a lot of sense. Hopefully someone reached somebody, but I do have a bigger testimony, and we can share one day. We'll go into a little more time for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have you on here more. So
for sure.
I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow.